Welcome to Hey Clarity. I'm your host, Lindsay, and today we're doing an Akashic Records reading on vortexes. The questions that we're going to ask are, what are vortexes? How are they formed? Where are the most famous vortexes on Earth? Or anywhere, maybe? What vortexes have come and gone? Where were they? Where are new vortexes forming now? How can we create them? What's a surprise we might not know about vortexes? Some interesting fun fact. What are the pros or benefits of vortexes? What are the cons or issues with vortexes? And what's the most important message we need to know? So we got a lot of questions to get through. First question. Let's get into it. What are vortexes? They're calling it like a springboard of energy, but there's also a splitting off. Splitting off. Why splitting off? The way that they're showing me a vortex is like, there's like this energy that's like one way, almost like maybe like mundane or something. And it's contrasting with something that's very like vibrant and active. So it's weird because it's got like, I think I'm getting the idea that like the contrasting energies, the energetic field of contrast makes it a vortex. It's this like, almost like apex point of like something everyday, usual, normalized with something that's like very vibrant. This is how they're showing it to me. And it's like, that's why they keep saying splitting off. And it feels like the contrast is what like makes it special. They're kind of saying like, it's like, it's a contrast energetically to something that is the norm or to something that is normalized. There's this vibrant energetic force field that is there. And the reason that it's so obvious is because it is kind of like almost like an opposite of the other energy. It's not same. It's almost like this opposite energetic field, force field. Huh. Okay. Anything else? What are vortexes? They're like, it's mixed up. It's mixed up. And like mix it up. Can you be any clearer about that? They're saying mixing it up, contrast. Mixing it up and contrast of this field, this force field. Vibrant, mundane. Like the differences and then also how they're mixed up. It's like this imbalance, this very attracting imbalance. They're like, shake it up, mixing it up. Almost like between two worlds. Yeah. Interesting way to put it. Thank you. How are vortexes formed? They're like newness. Something new grows. Something grows there. They're like innovation, invention, new ideas. Maybe they become in material world, material form. Maybe they become commercialized. But it's like new ideas, innovation, and invention. They keep saying new ideas. That like are allowed to like flourish. Something that's flourishing in an area, again, that seems like normalized, kind of like mundane. Like there's something very like calm and peaceful and balanced about a place, and then you bring something in that is new. But I'm getting that like both the mundane, like, and the vibrancy are clean. Like these energies are clean and clear. It's like peaceful, it's harmonious. There's a harmony here. There's a harmony in the mundane. There's a harmony, peacefulness in the mundane and the everyday. And then there's also this like clean, clear, like harmonizing energy within the vibrancy of the new thing. But I'm getting that like kind of what the connection that they have, the reason that they can form is because they're both clean and clear. Clean and cleared, they said. How are they formed? More. They're saying growth, growing. Any more details? How are they formed? People and places. The relationships. They're also saying plant forms. There's a harmonizing. They keep saying peaceful. There's a peaceful harmonizing. And it's almost like the energetic force fields light up together. It's like people come to a place, a land, and they're like respectful, peaceful, respectful. And it's like this on many levels, so many levels they're saying, this like energetic co-creation between like people, plant, animal, and land. They're saying like the basic foundation is peace and harmonizing and co-creation through invention, materials, things like that. It's almost like when we really are syncing up, when people, place, plants, animals, people, and land really sync up and work together, they're saying it's a collaboration to co-create, these vortexes form because it's exciting, it's energizing, it's vibrant. And again, it's clean and clear. Where are the most famous vortexes? Where are the most famous vortexes? It's almost like the most beautiful landscapes of the world are like the inspiration for it, because people feel drawn to the beauty of a place, and then they come to it with this respect and understanding and peace. They're inspired, and so then they like co-create in collaboration with like everything that's there. Like it's almost, they're saying it's non-spoken. It's in this energetic field. So it's like deserts, like beautiful deserts. Think of the most beautiful scenic landscapes of the world and like being there, and like those are the places where vortex can be formed, are formed, and have been formed. So they're like the mountains, the forests, like rivers, the seas, the ocean. It's almost like if you see a beautiful landscape and inhabit it respectfully, peacefully, with the intention of harmonizing with the place and making it better, co-creating, these vortexes form. So, and I just felt like ripple effect. Like, it's like suddenly this like unfolding of creating happens and creation happens, and then word of mouth and buzz, and almost like our, like they're saying unconscious, conscious, like our consciousness, our interconnectedness to everything in the world, like all beings kind of like sends out signals and signaling. And that's why there's word of mouth of like, oh, you know, Sedona, Arizona, for example, like you got to go here. It's got all the, it's a vortex. It's got all this energy. What does that mean? It's like this signal goes out through like word of mouth, through unconscious and the conscious, through all consciousnesses. the interconnectedness, like signal goes out to the world of like, this place is like vibrant, it's vibrating, it's vibrantly co-creating and collaborating. The colors of the landscape, the sunrise, the sunset, and everything in between, you know, the sun and the moon and the stars, like you can see it all. It's almost like, you know, these landscapes exist, and then also like there's the creation of landscapes, and like places that people come, they're like, we love photographing this place, we love painting this place, we love, you know, holding ceremony in this space, like all these different things. We love to just be in this space. It's so breathtaking, it's so awe-inspiring. And that is vortexes. That's how they are formed, that's how they have been formed, and essentially how we can form them. So they seem to be answering multiple of the next questions, but we're going to hit them anyway. What vortexes have come and gone? What vortexes have come and gone? They're like many lifetimes through. And they're saying that like more destruction causes them to fall, causes them to crumble. So they're showing like, for example, it's all about this like energetic force field, like who are the people that are there, you know, what plants and animals are there, things like that. They can be created, but I'm even getting like in the aftermath. So the example they're showing me is like, let's say there's a war. Let's say there's war in a beautiful place. And they're even saying like, that's rare that something like that would happen, because there's just such a like innate respect for beautiful landscapes. However, it happens. It has happened many lifetimes throughout history that, you know, people might destroy, the destruction, humanity destroys places. There's this interesting thing where it's like sometimes, you know, the battlefields or the destruction of a place can cause the vortex to, they're saying, shrink. However, the energetic force fields, the beauty and the balance that was there, the energy is still there. So like sometimes even in the rubble, even in the destruction, it's still a vortex. Like even with it demolished or on fire or all of the ash, there's still a vortex. They just said Chernobyl. Like there are places, and then they revive, they relive. There's a reliving, there's a rebirth of the place. So it's hard, like they're kind of saying like vortexes are like, they're hard to destroy, they're hard to harm, like they're almost like unharmable. This like coexistence. If there's a powerful enough energetic force field of existence long term in a place, even if it becomes demolished by humanity somehow, it comes back like more beautiful, because co-creation also knows how to work with destruction, and destruction can also be beautiful in the aftermath, in the healing, in the mending, in the rebirth, in the regrowing. So there's just like these cycles of like vortexes where like maybe they close down for a while, but like what's kind of embedded like becomes unearthed, and there's like rebirth and regrowth. They're like jungles. They're showing me like rainforests and how we are destroying the rainforests, and like it may weaken the vortex of those places for a while, for a time, but then there's like a turning over and a churning over, and the energy is still there, and then the regrowth happens. I'm getting like people help. They're saying tremendously, like people help to amplify vortexes tremendously. They're saying like the power of people to co-create and collaborate and like make it a better world. So we create them, we help create them. So it's kind of general, like what vortexes have come and gone. They're kind of saying like long term, like they're actually unharmed, like they're always kind of there, but they can like lessen. They can be lessened over time or even over lifetimes, but they almost like can always be revived by like the right people who like match, are in alignment, and like click into a space and then like recreate better there. There's a lot of information coming through, so I'm trying to like decipher so much of what they're giving me, but that's the gist of it. I hope that's being clear, because I'm just getting like all this stuff. It's really cool though. Where are new vortexes forming today? Where are new vortexes forming today? They're like anywhere, everywhere. Like, you know, and you can be a part of it. Like there's so many to go and visit. They're like, you know them, you already know them. You've heard of them through this word of mouth and this consciousness. And some of it is also like these places that you feel called to visit, travel, vacation, explore, whatever. You know, people announce them as like, oh, we noticed that this is a vortex, and like you go visit it because you know it's a vortex. But there's also like, there's like mini vortexes and large vortexes and like everything in between. And a lot of it really just has to do with the collaboration and the co-creation of the inhabitants with the landscape, with the beauty, with the energy and the force field that's there, with the animals. They're like nurturing, the nurturing of it. And, you know, awe-inspiring, the new ideas, the growth, like things that come from these places. So there's a little bit of a note of like, when you're traveling, when you are in places, they're saying creating a vortex, creating vortexes. Part of it is like document, like if you're an artist or a writer, start documenting like the date and location, you know, even if you're like time and whatever, like date, location of like, when did you take this photograph? When did you paint this painting? Where were you? Like dating them kind of helps like to solidify this vortex, because you're a part of it. And this is part of like the word of mouth and like getting the signal out more. So there's something about like documenting your work, your inspiration, invention, innovation, whatever. They're showing me like, for example, they're saying like not to do this, but for example, when someone like, you know, carves their name into a tree, I was here. They're like, not that, like the dead stump is like a better place to put it, or writing it in the sand or writing it in the ground or something and having it exist and go away. Like I was here, or like initials in the date. Like you can do things like that. There's something about that, like creating these vortexes. Like they're like little things. These are like teeny tiny little things around mini vortexes. Like they're like making a mark, like making your mark. How can we create them specifically? How can we create them? Be in a place, choose a place, create, co-create, build, rebuild. Take it in, taken in, remembering in you the movement, the moment, kind of capturing it. This is also the power of photography. You know, you capture the moment and it's in a still shot forever. Or you're painting. And then they're kind of saying like date and sign, date and sign. And then this like natural word of mouth, this natural like literal like material world formed, connecting the dots to like where this came from. It like connect the dots back to a place, connect the dots back to a place, back to a place. And people start seeing like, oh, all these people are in, I don't know, something Kentucky, you know what I mean? Like, and like, oh, what's going on in Kentucky? You know, what's going on? Like, I just random, I'm just playing something random. But like, you know, what's going on there? Like something's happening. They're like, there's a hub, there's something growing there. So it's like, and then people are like, oh, let's go visit. And then over time, it's like, oh, let's go visit. Oh, I like it here. Oh, I get it. Oh, this person was here, and da, da, da. Oh, it is so beautiful. Da, da, da. And it gets attention. And in that attention, over time, enough people then make it a destination, and they come and visit, and then it becomes this hub, this place for like new ideas and growth and invention and vortex. So it's like buzzing. They're saying buzzing. There's like buzzing around this vortex. What's a fun fact or a surprise that we might not know about vortexes? What is a surprise or a fun fact that we might not know about vortexes? With all the energy, ideas, creation, invention, innovation kind of like circling in the vortex, it can be too much. It can be dizzying. And so it is important to like come and go from some of the like more powerful ones. So it's like maybe you go for a day, kind of check it out, acclimate, go out somewhere else, ground, and then come back. But this is why some of these places are vacations or destinations, is because it's kind of like not everybody can like live in form there long term. It can be very ungrounding. So it's kind of like you feel out and integrate like how long you can be in these places. And some people stay in them. But they are saying that they can be dizzying, they can be too much. And that's why a lot of people feel that way. Almost like, like lightheaded or dizzy or like whatever. But you know, it's because there's all these ideas swirling from like the millions and billions of people who have come in and out and come and gone and like contributed to the co-creation in this vortex, the inspiration, the art, whatever it is. So like there's just like all this energy in it. So sometimes you might need to like take a break and come back, come and go, not necessarily stay there for a long time, but you might want to stay there for a long time. And they're calling it hodgepodge. Like it could be a hodgepodge of inspiration. They can. What are the pros or benefits of vortexes? They're like new ideas, growth, inspiration, invention, innovation, co-creation, collaboration, people, places, plants, animals, all the things. What are the cons or challenges or issues with vortexes? It's not really a con or anything. It's just like you either magnetize them or not. Like some people are drawn to them and some people are not. They're like dizzying. It can be too much. It can be overwhelming. You can get a headache maybe, or migraines. Like some people can get headaches or migraines in them because they feel bombarded with information. Not ready, they're saying. So like, it's kind of like an energetic alignment or match or not. So like you're either gonna feel drawn to it and want to go and whatever, not. So it's a little bit just like, be careful, they're saying, with like how you feel and your interaction and reaction and how you integrate the information. Just be aware. They're like awareness, like self-awareness, like be aware of like, checks and balances. Like, how do I feel? Should I take a break? Should I come back? Whatever. Like, they're like, listen to your body. Like, trust your instincts, listen to your body, listen to your intuition when you're engaging or visiting, vacation, destination, they're like art project, like building, whatever you're doing there, moving there. They're like, you likely will not feel so seriously called to move to a place, to be there long term. They are recommending that you always just kind of like dip your toe in the water and make sure before you do like a huge commitment or dedication to a vortex, like moving somewhere. You definitely want to they're like, take it in pieces, bits and pieces before a full landing is what they're saying. Because they're saying if you were to just be like, oh, like I want to move to Sedona, Arizona, I hear it's great, whatever, vortex, like I want to live there. they're saying you could get there, and then like they're saying illness, like you can just be so overwhelmed because you're not acclimated to it, like you could actually get very sick. So it is best to trust your instincts and listen to your body and explore these places in pieces. And they just said, now, if you're creating a vortex, this takes place over time. So you can create a vortex, right? They're like, you're an artist, you're in a location. Do you love the place? Are you making the place a better place? Are you collaborating, co-creating there? Like you might be slowly creating and forming a vortex. So that's somewhere that you are from, as opposed to like moving to. You are from. And word gets out that like, oh, this famous artist or writer is from this small town in rural blah, 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 or this city or whatever. Something about it feels like less city. Oh, because of like the beautiful landscape. But they're like some cities, populations and like society has built them into this landscape of their own. Like some cities are breathtaking and awe-inspiring in existence. They're bringing up like Singapore. Like they're showing places all over the world. They're showing like the Taj Mahal. Like they're showing places all over the world where like we have co-created our world in the natural world and made these beautiful vortexes. So the cons are just before moving anywhere, but you also might be creating one over time where you are. So like if you feel established in a place and you're really in sync with the location and the landscape and the beauty all around you, and like this is your place, they're kind of like stay put, and like you might be you might be the seed or the solid foundation of a vortex to form there. What's the most important message we need to know about vortexes? What's the most important message about vortexes? Documenting them for future people. A bit for fun, a bit for surviving and thriving in like the future of a place, of a world. When word of mouth gets around that there's a vortex somewhere, people tend to respect it a bit more. People tend to approach it with curiosity and more peace than destruction and disrespect. Anything else? Face form. If you've created a vortex and you're like, let's say an artist or a writer, and your face gets put out there, your face gets associated with the vortex. So like people's faces, like famous people, like that's why you have these pockets of like, oh, a bunch of these artists were in this city or this town in this decade. Like that's part of the importance of documenting. And, you know, in all of your art, you know, what's the date, what's the location? And then let the work speak for itself. Date and location, date and location. You write in a book, where were you this year, date and location. Because it's really fun to connect the dots and find the vortexes. Like they're showing like Ghost Ranch. And all the artists who felt drawn there. And then also like the religious and spiritual people that felt drawn there. And they're kind of like places like that, like when like history gets word that a bunch of people were here co-creating and collaborating and being inspired and working with the landscape and the land at a certain time, decades ago, decades in the future, decades later, whatever. These vortexes, like just they keep existing. We keep creating them. So it's a bit of, they're going back to that like that image of like the tree trunk where someone carved in like I was here, or like their name was there, and they're like, don't do that again, like only when something's maybe dead, you know, like non-living things you can carve. You know, is it like painting something and beautiful paint on the side of like a rock, like a little bit, you know, but it's like the idea is that we're respecting the landscape and we're making it more beautiful. We're enhancing it. We're not making it ugly. We're not vandalizing it. We're not disrespecting it. Like there is a difference, the intention and the care in which we design, create, paint, whatever your creative medium is. But when it is peacefully, intentionally created and it's harmonizing and helps to beautify what already exists, some of it is just leaving it alone, and it's like being in ceremony and just gathering in person and talking and sharing stories, and you're not actually, you know, making your mark. Maybe you're not making a physical mark, but maybe you're gathering and energetically enhancing a place. Okay. I feel like they can say a lot more, but that was like the gist of it. There was just like so much information coming through at the same time. So I hope that was clear. Really cool. So that was the Akashic Records on Vortexes. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.